Pyramids of Giza, Cairo, Egypt. Location and importance. Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza are located on the Giza Plateau, on the west bank of the Nile River, about 13 kilometers, 8 miles southwest of Cairo, Egypt's capital. The plateau is part of the larger Memphis necropolis, which includes Saqqara and Dosha, making it one of the world's most important archaeological zones. They stand at the edge of the Sahara Desert, symbolically placed where the fertile Nile Valley meets the barren desert, representing life, death, and rebirth in Egyptian belief. The complex includes Great Pyramid of Khufu, Cheops, the largest and most famous pyramid of Khufu, slightly smaller, associated with the Great Sphinx. Pyramid of Menkaure, the smallest of the three smaller satellite pyramids, temples, causeways, and the Great Sphinx. Importance: the last surviving wonder of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Served as royal tombs for pharaohs of the 4th dynasty Sen, 2600 a 2500 BCE, closing parenthesis, symbolize the power, wealth, and religious devotion of ancient Egypt. Represent one of the greatest achievements of ancient engineering and mathematics, with precise alignment to the cardinal points and possible astronomical significance. Today, they are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, 1979, and one of the most visited landmarks worldwide, attracting millions of tourists annually. The pyramids remain a global symbol of Egypt and an enduring representation of human creativity, mystery, and resilience. Historical background: Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza were constructed during Egypt's Old Kingdom period c. 2686 - 2181 BC. Specifically, the 4th dynasty, a golden age of pyramid building. They reflect the political strength, wealth, and religious devotion of the pharaohs who commissioned them. Pharaohs and construction timeline: Great Pyramid of Khufu, Cheops, built around 2560 BCE. Commissioned by Pharaoh Khufu II, king of the 4th dynasty. It is the largest pyramid ever built, originally standing at 146.6 meters, 481 feet, served as Khufu's tomb and a monument to his divine kingship. Pyramid of Khafra, built around 2558-253 BCE, constructed by Pharaoh Khufu. Khufu's son, slightly smaller than Khufu's, but elevated on higher ground, giving the illusion of greater height, associated with the Great Sphinx, believed to represent Khufu's likeness. Pyramid of Menkaure, built around 2532-2503 BCE, constructed by Pharaoh Menkaure. Khufu's successor, much smaller, 65 meters, 213 feet high, but distinguished by its granite casing at the base, reflects a shift in pyramid size, possibly due to economic or political changes. Religious and cultural role: pyramids were not just tombs, but spiritual monuments designed to ensure the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife. Their pyramid shape symbolized the sun's rays, allowing the king's soul car to ascend to the heavens. Each pyramid was part of a larger mortuary complex, including Valley Temple, ritual purification, causeway connecting temple to pyramid, mortuary, temple offerings and rituals for the deceased king. Construction techniques: built with millions of limestone and granite blocks, each weighing 2 to 15 tons. Workers were skilled laborers, farmers, and craftsmen, not slaves contrary to earlier beliefs. Construction likely involved ramps, levers, sledges, and copper tools. Estimated workforce 20,000 to 30,000 laborers working. Over decades dated historical accounts. Ancient historian Herodotus, 5th century BCE, visited Egypt and described the pyramids. Though some of his accounts were based on hearsay, over centuries, the pyramids became objects of wonder, pilgrimage, and study for scholars, travelers, and explorers. Despite looting and weathering, they remain remarkably well preserved, standing for more than 4,500 years. Transformations over time. Pyramids of Giza, for their 4,500-year history. The Pyramids of Giza have undergone significant transformations due to natural, cultural, and human factors. Their appearance, function, and meaning have evolved, yet they remain among the most enduring monuments on Earth. 1. Original construction, c. 2600 to 2500 BCE, when first completed. The pyramids were covered in smooth, polished white Tura limestone casing stones, which reflected sunlight and made them shine like mountains of light in the desert. The tips may have been capped with gold or electrum, a gold-silver alloy, to reflect the sun's rays, symbolizing the connection between the pharaoh and the sun god Ra. Their grandeur was unmatched, serving as the centerpiece of the pharaoh's mortuary complexes. 2. Ancient Egyptian use, Old Kingdom, New Kingdom, c. 2600 to 1000 BCE. The pyramids were active centers of royal cults, where priests performed daily rituals and offerings to the deceased pharaohs. Over time, the focus of royal burials shifted to other sites, for example, Valley of the Kings in Thebes, Luxor, as pyramids became vulnerable to tomb robbing. Despite this, the Giza pyramids remained religious landmarks, associated with cosmic order and divine kingship. 3. Greco-Roman period, 332 BCE to 641 CE. The pyramids fascinated foreign rulers and travelers, especially during the Ptolemaic, Greek, and Roman rule. Ancient historians like Herodotus, Strabo, and Pliny the Elder wrote about them, sometimes mixing fact with legend. They were seen as mystical monuments, their true purpose often misunderstood by outsiders. 4. Islamic period, 7th, 16th century CE, following the Arab conquest of Egypt, 641 CE. The pyramids continued to awe visitors. Arab scholars like al-Makrizi described them, often linking them to biblical figures or mythical kings. Many of the limestone casing stones were stripped and reused in medieval Cairo for mosques, palaces, and fortifications such as the Cairo citadel. The pyramids lost much of their smooth exterior, exposing the rough inner core we see today. 5. Modern rediscovery and exploration. 17th, 19th century CE, European travelers and scholars, including Napoleon's expedition, 1798 to 1801, brought scientific study to the pyramids. Napoleon's team produced detailed maps, drawings, and studies, sparking worldwide fascination. In the 19th century, early archaeologists, for example, Giovanni Belzoni, Flinders Petrie, began excavations, uncovering shafts, chambers, and artifacts. 6. Contemporary period, 20th, 21st century CE, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, 1979 under Memphis and its necropolis. Preservation efforts increased due to threats from pollution, Cairo's urban expansion, mass tourism, and natural erosion. Technological studies, satellite scans, 3D mapping, thermal imaging have revealed hidden voids and chambers, sparking renewed interest in pyramid construction mysteries. The nearby Grand Egyptian Museum gem, expected to be one of the largest in the world, will host artifacts from Giza, including the restored Khufu solar boat. Architecture and design. Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza are masterpieces of ancient Egyptian engineering and architecture, reflecting extraordinary skill in mathematics, astronomy, and construction. Each pyramid was not an isolated monument, but part of a carefully planned funerary complex, combining symbolic, religious, and functional elements. 1. The Great Pyramid of Khufu. Cheops dimensions. Original height, 146.6 meters, 481 feet. Gives now 138.8 meters, 455 feet, due to loss of casing stones. Base, 230 meters, 755 feet per side. Slope angle, 51.5 materials, 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, each weighing to 215 tons. Internal layout, entrance on the north face, descending passage, leading to unfinished subterranean chamber, ascending passage leading to the Queen's Chamber. Grand gallery, 47 meters long, 8.5 meters high, a corbelled passage. King's Chamber, made of granite, containing the sarcophagus. Air shafts aligned with stars, possibly for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the heavens. Innovations, precise alignment with the cardinal points north, south, east, west with minimal error. 2. Pyramid of Khufu. Dimensions. Original height, 143.5 meters, 471 feet. Gives now 136.4 meters, 448 feet. Base, 215 meters, 705 feet. Unique feature, appears taller than Khufu's pyramid due to higher plateau location. Casing stones. Retains some of its white limestone casing at the apex, giving us a glimpse of their original polished beauty. Complex, mortuary temple at the pyramid's base. Causeway, leading to the Valley Temple, where mummification and rituals occurred, associated with the Great Sphinx, a colossal guardian statue, carved from limestone. 3. Pyramid of Menkaure. Original height, 65.5 meters, 215 feet. Gives now 61 meters, 200 feet. Base, 102 meters, 335 feet. Material, lower portion encased in granite, upper portion in limestone. Complex, mortuary temple and valley temple, partly unfinished at Menkaure's death, later completed by his successors. Smaller queens. Pyramids alongside. 4. The Great Sphinx. Structure length, 73 meters, 240 feet. Height, 20 meters, 66 feet. Carved directly from limestone. Bedrock. Symbolism, a lion's body with a human head, likely representing Pharaoh Khufu, functioned as a guardian of the Giza Plateau, watching over the pyramid complex. 5. Mortuary complexes. Each pyramid was part of an elaborate complex, including Valley Temple, used for purification and embalming of the king's body. Causeway, covered passage, linking the Valley Temple to the Mortuary Temple. Mortuary Temple, located at the pyramid's base, where priests performed daily rituals and offerings. Satellite pyramids, smaller pyramids for queens and royal family members. Boat pits, containing solar barks, boats, symbolizing the pharaoh's journey with the sun god in the afterlife. 6. Architectural symbolism. Pyramid shape represented the primordial mound of creation and the rays of the sun, a pathway for the king's soul to ascend to the heavens. Alignment, almost perfect alignment with the cardinal directions, suggesting advanced knowledge of astronomy. Mathematical precision, Ratios of the Great Pyramid are closely related to pi and the golden ratio phi, though whether intentional or coincidental remains debated. Notable features: Pyramids of Giza. Beyond the massive stone structures themselves, the Giza Plateau contains several extraordinary features that highlight the religious, architectural, and cultural importance of the pyramid complex. 1. The Great Sphinx of Giza. Description: A colossal statue carved directly from the limestone bedrock. Length 73 meters, 240 feet. Height 20 meters, 66 feet. Features a lion's body with a human head. Symbolism believed to represent Pharaoh Khufu. Combining royal power, human face with strength, lion's body, served as the guardian of the Giza Plateau, protecting the sacred tombs. Mysteries: exact date of construction is debated. Some suggest Khufu's reign c. 2550 BCE, while alternative theories argue it could be older. Erosion patterns have sparked debates about its age and construction methods. 2. Valley temples and mortuary temples. Pyramid had its own mortuary temple at the base, linked by a causeway to a valley temple near the Nile. Functions: ritual, purification of the pharaoh's body, embalming and mummification. Ceremonies: daily offerings and religious rituals by priests to honor the deceased king. Notable examples: Khufu Valley Temple, well preserved, built of massive limestone and granite blocks. Menkawer's mortuary temple, partially completed by his successors. 3. Solar boat. Large pits discovered near Khufu's Great Pyramid contained disassembled wooden boats. The Khufu ship, discovered in 1954 by archaeologist Kamal El-Malak, fully restored, 43.6 meters, 143 feet long, made from cedar wood, believed to be a ritual vessel to carry the pharaoh's soul across the heavens with the sun god Ra. Other boat pits remain unexcavated, suggesting multiple vessels were buried for symbolic journeys. 4. Queens. Pyramids, subsidiary pyramids, small pyramids located near the main pyramids, built for queens, royal wives, and family members. Example: 3 smaller pyramids beside the Great Pyramid of Khufu, likely for his wives and daughters. These reflect the extended royal family's role in the funerary and religious system. 5. Covered ceremonial passageways connecting the valley temple near the Nile to the mortuary. Temple at each pyramid's base, decorated with religious reliefs and used for funeral processions and offerings. Khufu's causeway remains among the best preserved. 6. Alignment and astronomical features. Pyramids are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions N, S, E, W. Some scholars suggest alignment with Orion's belt stars, linking pharaohs to Osiris, the god of rebirth. This astronomical precision reflects the cosmic significance of the pyramids in Egyptian religion. 7. Underground chambers and passages beneath. The Great Pyramid of Khufu lies in an unfinished subterranean chamber, whose purpose remains unclear. Some pyramids include hidden shafts, false passages, and air shafts, possibly designed to protect the tomb from robbers or serve symbolic spiritual functions. Cultural and symbolic significance. Pyramids of Giza. Pyramids of Giza are not only architectural masterpieces, but also symbols of ancient Egyptian religion, power, and worldview. For over 4,500 years, they have carried profound meanings, first to the Egyptians who built them, and later to the world at large. 1. Religious and spiritual meaning. The pyramid shape symbolized the sun's rays, reflecting the Egyptians' worship of the sun god Ra. They represented the primordial mound of creation, linking the pyramids to Egyptian creation myths. The design. An orientation allowed the pharaoh's soul Ka to ascend to the heavens and join the gods. The afterlife belief was central. Pyramids served as gateways to eternity, ensuring the king's immortality. 2. Political and royal power. The sheer size and precision demonstrated the wealth, power, and control of the 4th dynasty pharaohs. They reinforced the concept of the pharaoh as a divine ruler, chosen by the gods to maintain Mahat cosmic order, balance, and justice. Building them required tens of thousands of workers, showing the unity and organizational skill of the kingdom. 3. Astronomical and cosmic symbolism. I know almost perfectly to the cardinal directions north, south, east, west. Many scholars believe they correspond to the stars of Orion's belt, associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth. This alignment connected the pharaoh's journey to the stars, reinforcing eternal life in the cosmos. 4. Cultural legacy. In ancient Egypt, the pyramids became models for later burial traditions. Even after kings stopped building pyramids and shifted to the Valley of the Kings, they stood as visible reminders of Egypt's glorious past, and religious devotion continued to inspire myths and legends throughout Egyptian history. For example, linked with biblical stories, pharaonic legends, and Greek accounts. 5. Global symbolism. The classical world, Greeks and Romans admired the pyramids as symbols of mystery and ancient wisdom. In the Islamic period, they were regarded as monuments of ancient kings and prophets, inspiring awe. In the modern era, they became icons of human achievement, representing endurance, mystery, and timeless beauty. Today, they are a universal emblem of Egypt, featured in art, literature, films, and tourism campaigns worldwide. 6. Modern cultural significance. Recognized as the last surviving wonder of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979, under Memphis and its necropolis, inspire global fascination with ancient mysteries, lost technologies, and even extraterrestrial theories. Serve as a symbol of national pride for Egypt, attracting millions of tourists annually. Visitor information. Pyramids of Giza. Pyramids of Giza remain Egypt's most famous tourist attraction, drawing millions of visitors each year. Here is a complete guide for travelers who wish to explore the site. 1. Location: Giza Plateau, on the western edge of the Nile. About 13 kilometers, 8 miles southwest of Cairo city center. Easily accessible by taxi, ride-sharing apps, organized tours, or public transport. New metro extensions are under development. Closing parenthesis. 2. Opening hours: generally open daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. may vary seasonally. Summer hours, sometimes extended to 7 p.m. for evening light shows, sound and light show. Evening performances with illuminated pyramids and narration in multiple languages. Closing parenthesis. 3. Tickets and entrance. Fees: Giza Plateau. Entry ticket, basic site access, required for all visitors. Separate tickets needed for entering the pyramids. Great Pyramid of Khufu, most expensive. Pyramid of Khafra. Pyramid of Menkaure. Additional tickets for solar boat museum housing. Khufu's ancient ship being moved to the Grand Egyptian Museum. Sound and light show. Students often get discounts with valid ID. 4. Getting around the plateau: walking. Best way to fully explore, but distances between pyramids are large. camel and horse rides, popular with tourists, though prices for renegotiation is essential. Carriages, tours vehicles, available but regulated. Be cautious of touts and unofficial guides offering rides or souvenirs. 5. Nearby, attractions: the Great Sphinx of Giza, iconic guardian statue near Khufu's causeway. Valley temples, especially Khufu's well-preserved Valley Temple. Panoramic Point, a viewpoint on the plateau offering the best photo opportunity of all three pyramids together. Grand Egyptian Museum Gem, expected full opening soon. Located close to Giza, it will display treasures of Tutankhamun and artifacts from the pyramids. Saqqara and Darsha, 30 to 40 kilometers away, home to earlier pyramids, like the Step Pyramid of Giza and the Bent Pyramid. 6. Facilities and site: visitor center, security checks, restrooms, and a few cafes, rest areas, shops and local vendors selling souvenirs. Bargaining is common. Guided tours available in multiple languages. 7. Travel tips: best time to visit: morning 8 to 10 a.m. to avoid midday heat and crowds. Winter months, October-Feb, offer cooler weather. Clothing: light, comfortable clothes with hats, sunglasses, and sunscreen. Modest dress is appreciated. Footwear: comfortable. Walking shoes for sandy and uneven ground. Safety: the site is generally safe with police and tourist guards, but beware of persistent vendors. Photography: allowed outside, but tripods and drones are restricted. Inside pyramids: narrow, steep passages, not recommended for those with claustrophobia or mobility issues. Hydration: carry bottled water, essential in summer. Modern challenges and preservation: Pyramids of Giza. Though the Pyramids of Giza have stood for over 4,500 years, they now face serious challenges from natural erosion, urban expansion, and human activity. Preserving them for future generations requires continuous effort from Egypt and the global community. 1. Environmental challenges: erosion, constant exposure to wind, sandstorms, and desert climate wears away stone surfaces. Air pollution: Cairo's heavy smog and acid rain accelerate the deterioration of limestone. Climate change: rising temperatures and extreme weather patterns may increase erosion and structural stress. 2. Human impact: mass tourism. Millions of annual visitors cause wear on pathways, chambers, and pyramid interiors. Urban expansion: modern Cairo is rapidly growing toward the Giza Plateau, threatening the archaeological setting with noise, traffic, and construction. Looting and vandalism: historical and modern. For centuries, tomb robbers removed treasures and valuable casing stones. Even today, unauthorized access and minor vandalism remain concerns. Unregulated vendors and touts, overcrowding by unofficial sellers, and aggressive tourism practices disrupt the site's integrity. 3. Archaeological and preservation efforts: UNESCO World Heritage status 1979. The pyramids are protected under the designation Memphis and its necropolis. Supreme Council of Antiquities, Egypt, oversees conservation, restoration, and site management. International collaboration: projects with foreign teams and universities use advanced technology, 3D scanning, thermal imaging, drones to study and monitor structural conditions. Hidden chambers and structural studies. Recent scans, for example, scan pyramids. Project 2015 present revealed voids inside the Great Pyramid, raising both preservation and research challenges. 4. Modern conservation measures: controlled tourism, limiting access inside pyramids at certain times to prevent overcrowding. Restoration work, restabilizing blocks, cleaning stone surfaces, and repairing erosion damage, relocation of artifacts. Precious finds, like the Khufu solar boat, have been moved to the new Grand Egyptian Museum gem for protection. Protective buffer zones, efforts to restrict further urban encroachment near the Giza Plateau. Visitor, education, increased awareness campaigns to reduce damage caused by careless behavior. 5. Future concerns balancing. Heritage preservation and mass tourism remains the biggest challenge. Long-term urban pressure from Cairo may compromise the historical landscape if not strictly controlled. Continued reliance on international funding and expertise is essential for ongoing conservation. Summary table. Pyramids of Giza category details. Location: Giza Plateau, 13 kilometers, 8 miles southwest of Cairo. Egypt dynasty and period. 4th dynasty, Old Kingdom c. 2600 to 2500 BCE. Pharaohs: Khufu, Great Pyramid, Khafia, Menkaropis, royal tombs and religious monuments ensuring Pharaoh's afterlife. Regional heights: Khufu, 146.6 meters, 481 feet, gives. Now, 138.8 meters, 455 feet. Khufu, 143.5 meters, 471 feet, gives now 136.4 meters, 448 feet. Menkaure, 65.5 meters, 215 feet, gives now 61 meters, 200 feet. Base measurements: Khufu, 230 meters, 755 feet. Khafre, 215 meters, 705 feet. Menkaure, 102 meters, 335 feet. Construction material: limestone core. Granite chambers, casing, originally polished white Tura limestone covering. Key features: Great Sphinx, valley temples, mortuary temples, causeways, queens, pyramids, solar boat, pits. Astronomical alignment oriented almost perfectly to cardinal directions. Linked with Orion's belt. Osiris: cultural significance, symbol of Pharaoh's divine power. Immortality, sun worship, and cosmic order. Historical recognition, only surviving wonder of the ancient world. UNESCO status, World Heritage Site. 1979, Memphis and its necropolis. Visitors millions annually. One of the most visited archaeological sites in the world. Modern challenges: erosion, pollution, Cairo's urban expansion, mass tourism. Preservation efforts: UNESCO protection, Egyptian Supreme Council of Antiquities, international collaborations, for example, Scam Pyramids Project, controlled tourism, ending. Detailed note: Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza stand as eternal witnesses to the greatness of ancient Egyptian civilization. Constructed more than 4,500 years ago, they are not only the pharaoh's tombs, but also monumental expressions of faith, cosmic order, and human ingenuity. Their vast size, precise alignment with the stars, and enduring form reflect a society that combined religion, science, and state power to create architecture that would outlast time itself. Originally gleaming with white limestone casing, the pyramids would have shone brilliantly in the desert sun, symbolizing the sun god Ra and the pharaoh's divine connection to the heavens. They were carefully designed to ensure the king's soul would ascend to the gods, continuing his reign in eternity. The Great Sphinx, the solar boats, the temples, and the causeways all enriched this sacred landscape, making the plateau not merely a burial site, but a cosmic stage of immortality. Through the ages, they have inspired historians, explorers, philosophers, and dreamers, from Herodotus to modern scientists, While time, looting, and urban expansion have altered their appearance, their essence remains untouched. They still evoke awe, mystery, and reverence. Today, as the only surviving wonder of the ancient world, the Pyramids of Giza are not just Egypt's heritage, but the world's treasure in the modern era. They face challenges from pollution, erosion, and the pressures of mass tourism, yet preservation efforts continue to protect them for future generations. Each stone of the pyramids is a reminder of humanity's ability to dream beyond mortality and leave behind a legacy of eternity.